one power, invisible, and just see it everywhere and every day. One power, indescribable, and just speak of it with every word you say. Mysterious until you know the truth. As simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, angels' wings or heaven's door. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? It's the power of the love in you and me. One power, one power.
Good morning and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Midtown, Atlanta. Such is the nature of life that all it asks and all it wants is the opportunity to appear. And you are that opportunity, and so am I, and so it is. Whoever you are, whatever path brought you here today, please know that you are welcome and celebrated. We know who you are. You are an individualized expression of the divine life in which we all live. We are life's opportunity to be someone unique and wonderful. Whatever your ethnic background, religious affiliation, however you know yourself or describe yourself, your pronouns, your gender identities, we're glad you are joining us here today. You're welcome to be a part of us in this community in whatever way serves you. In our vision statement, we are a strong, open, globally connected community centered on the clarity of principle through teaching, service, and practice. We create a safe and respectful environment that supports a healthy spiritual growth. And now, for a little bit more, our Declaration of Principle as written by our founder, Ernest Holmes.
A few of the Declaration of Principles we live by.
I believe in one God, one absolute power, and first cause to all things.
I believe that this power is perfect love, and it creates out of a desire to express love.
I believe all thought is creative, and how I choose to think creates my personal experience.
I believe in the unity of all life, and the immortality of the individual soul forever unfolding.
I believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of God to all.
And so it is.
So grateful, hey.
And so it is. A practitioner is someone who's demonstrated the ability to use spiritual practice and spiritual laws to bring about great changes in their lives. They have demonstrated that they know how to bring about these changes in others when asked. Licensed by the Centers for Spiritual Living, they're able to help provide you spiritual guidance and support in those areas where you're looking for assistance. And you can contact them through our website, cslmidtown.org. And today we've got one of our amazingly wonderful practitioners with us to share good ideas and an affirmative prayer called the Spiritual Mind Treatment. Welcome, Maya Fuller.
Thank you. Thank you, Vance. Good morning, CSL Midtown family and friends. You might remember that in the 1990s, there was a popular TV series called In Living Color. The show featured a diverse cast and offered bold, vibrant commentary on American culture. The Centers for Spiritual Living global theme for June is In Living Color. And this isn't just a catchy phrase, it's an invitation. This month, we're called to cast off the consciousness of exclusion and celebrate unity, diversity, and unique expression. We're honoring diversity in all its forms and grounding that celebration in the consciousness of oneness. So, we're celebrating Pride. We're commemorating Juneteenth. We're uplifting the voices, lives, and loves of those who have historically been marginalized and silenced, and those who don't identify as historically marginalized. At CSL, we know that honoring diversity does not mean excluding anyone. We recognize that true diversity means inclusion for all. In June, we are celebrating a world that works for everyone. And from that consciousness, we begin to imagine that. Imagine a government led by compassion, wisdom, by people of every background. Imagine trans and queer elders walking in peace and safety. Imagine women and people of all genders making sacred choices about their own bodies. Imagine a community of spiritual seekers, diverse in race, age, gender, and experience, gathered in shared truth and love. Imagine CSL Midtown. We're living in a time when we're hearing and perhaps feeling strong, urgent calls to take action. And yes, dear friends, action matters. March, organize, parade, call your representatives, vote your values. And as metaphysicians, we must also remember that action doesn't begin with movement. It begins with consciousness. As Ernest Holmes wrote on page 78 of The Science of Mind, everything in the physical universe is an effect and exists only by virtue of some inner cause. That's not just theory, that's spiritual law. That is the foundation of our teaching. That is that everything we see out there begins with something in here. Nothing in the outer world exists without first being born in mind, in consciousness. So we're talking about your conscious and subconscious beliefs about yourself, others, and the world, your emotionally charged thoughts, your identity, your mood, your attitudes, your expectations. Your consciousness is the inner atmosphere you live in, and it is always creating. Abraham Hicks teaches, don't speak, don't act, don't do anything unless you're in the vortex. The vortex is their term for a state of alignment. When your emotions are elevated, your thoughts are clear, and your energy is flowing with source. Your frequency is high. That is the optimal space from which to create and to act. Because action taken from a different frequency, from fear, frustration, or resistance, tends to produce more of the same. And of course, Science of Mind agrees. The law of mind responds to your dominant belief, not your behavior. So if you're out there protesting, calling your senator, joining in Pride Parade or Juneteenth celebration, but doing it all with a deep sense of fear and hopelessness, then metaphysically, you're impressing that fear into the law. Yes, your body is taking action, but your consciousness is still creating from fear. And fear reproduces itself. So what do? We return to alignment. Get your mind right before you move. Don't act from panic, act from power. Don't resist from despair, create from clarity. This does not mean that I'm saying don't take action. It means your first action must be inner. Align your consciousness with truth, with peace. Align your consciousness with a vision for inclusion, for goodness. Align with spirit. And yes, take action when you feel called. March, organize, vote, protest. But know this, the deepest activism is the consciousness you carry as you do it. And if you can't be out in the streets, but you are actively lifting these issues in consciousness, bringing freedom, democracy, equity, inclusion into the vortex of your belief and your expectation, then you are in the movement. Some might say you're at the forefront of the movement because the shift begins in consciousness. So let's envision the good. Let's know the good. Let's speak the good, because the law is listening and the world is responding in living color. And so it is. Let us now take this moment to move from hearing these ideas into grounding them in truth through spiritual mind treatment. So wherever you are, I invite you to sit back, take a steady breath, and bring your attention inward. This is where we're going to apply what we've just talked about through the spiritual practice of spiritual mind treatment. We take this time right now to know and affirm that there is one life, one presence, one infinite good that flows through all things. It is always present. It's always available. It is always enough. I know that this good is the truth of who I am, and it's the truth of who you are. It is not limited by the world around us. It expands as we make room for its very presence. So I speak this word from a place of spiritual authority, knowing that right here and right now, we are aligned with that infinite good. We open ourselves to greater clarity, compassion, justice, and unity, individually and collectively. We stop rehearsing limitation and start embodying possibility. I affirm that as we expand our awareness of what's possible, good expands in every area, in our communities, in our democracies, in our hearts, and in our relationships. We don't wait for good to show up. We create space for it through the power of consciousness. And I trust that the law is already responding. The seed has been planted. The shift is already underway. And for this, I give thanks and let it be. And so it is. And now, let's anchor what we've just claimed with our music for reflection.
In this very room, there's quite enough love for one like me. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for one like me. And there's quite enough hope and quite enough power to chase away any gloom. For Jesus, Lord Jesus, is in this very room. And in this very room, there's quite enough love quite enough joy for all the world, and there's quite enough hope and quite enough power to chase away any gloom. For Jesus, Lord Jesus, is in this very room.
All right, it's my pleasure to introduce our speaker this morning. Dr. Harry Morgan Moses is the author of the popular It's So Easy When You Know How, now in its second edition. His newest book, Obvious Power, The Secrets of Habits and Attitudes. He's featured in the movies Living Luminaries, The Serious Business of Happiness, What is New Thought, and A New Thought, A New You. Dr. Moses is the founder of the New Thought Center, San Diego, co-founder and past president of the affiliated New Thought Network, co-founder and senior minister of the New Thought Ministries of Oregon. Dr. Harry's been a keynote speaker for all major organizations of New Thought, and for over 11 years he served as a senior spiritual director for Centers for Spiritual Living. Dr. Harry is a popular guest speaker and seminar leader throughout New Thought movement and is currently serves on the Minister Council for Centers for Spiritual Living. He continues to maintain an independent counseling ministry as a spiritual life coach and also teaches at the Holmes Institute School of Spiritual Leadership, Redondo Beach, California. Dr. Harry and his wife thrive in Topanga, California, and enjoy their 6 grandchildren. Welcome, Dr. Harry.
Well, good morning, Vance. Thank you very much. Nice to see everybody this morning. Maya did a beautiful job in her little presentation just now, and I'm so thrilled about that as well. This is Casper. Casper joins me every week in a broadcast we do on Tuesdays called Coffee with Casper. And so he automatically thinks when I'm talking to a computer, he's supposed to be here. So we welcome, it's a world full of color. We welcome everybody, 4-leggeds included. So if you saw the blurb that CSL Midtown asked me to put together, I wrote this down and I'll share it with you now. Today's talk is called Room in My House. And that's really based on a poem by Dr. Ernest Holmes. I'll read that poem to you in just a minute. But here's where we're going. And I loved Maya's talk because it was right on the alley. You would think there was one mind and we were all in it because we were vibrating so close. So this is just a Tibetan bowl, but I use it as a symbol. There's a sound. You hear the tone, right? And each one of us, in the total of our consciousness, that which is conscious mind and subconscious mind, are creating a vibration. We live in a vibrational universe. It was talked about by Judge Thomas Troward many 100 years ago or so, that consciousness is moving from mineral. So a rock is sitting there, you think it's solid rock, but there's different kinds of densities of rock. They're vibrating at different levels, whether it's quartz or whether it's marble or whether, doesn't matter what kind of stone, they're different vibrations, even at the level of mineral, right? Then you move up to the level of plant. We see a plant has intelligence because if you go into any forest, you can see that if the plant can't find light, it will start looking for light. If it can't find water, its roots will start looking for water. So it has a life force that knows how to be in sync with itself. Then we move up to the level of simple consciousness, which is our 4-legged friends and 2-legged birds and winged things, that they can think, but they can't think about what they think about. In other words, if I have a golden retriever here, and if he's thirsty, he'll go for water. However, if I throw a ball, he'll go after the ball, and he won't know why. right? So he has consciousness, he has volition, he can choose, but he doesn't know why he's choosing. He can't think about what he thinks about. That's called simple consciousness. And then we move up a level higher, which is self-consciousness. And that's where I can think about what I think about. And self-consciousness evolves as we go up the spiral, continue to go up the spiral into cosmic consciousness, which is my conscious awareness of my unity with all. And that's where we talk about in that Declaration of Principles that we grow and expand forever. We are one with the one, and there's an infinite level of understanding to be had, an infinite level of growth to be experienced. And that's what you and I are, souls on a journey. We call that the I am consciousness, that which is my soul. So here's the blurb that I wrote. Either consciously or unconsciously, everyone is setting limits to what is unlimited good. As we make room in our hearts for the all good in our lives, good expands in every area. So I want to go back to this idea that we're vibrational beings and we're broadcasting. No, Casper, right? And we're broadcasting. We're sending out a signal. That signal goes into what's called the law of mind or the law of the circle. That which comes from me returns to me as the multiple dimensions of my own experience, right? So we are basically a broadcasting station. We are broadcasting a vibe into the law of the circle, into the law of mind, which is returning to us as our experience. Some of us are not conscious of what is that vibe. Now, it is clear that the only power that knows itself is spirit, right? And so I am a self-conscious being. I know that I am one with the one. I know there is one life, that energy and matter are equal and interchangeable. That energy, the life force in me is the same life force as in you, is the same life force in everyone. However, you're not, you don't have billions of people that are on the planet in your vibrational sphere, because of those billions of people, each one is sending a signal and each one is vibrating at the level of their own consciousness. How much awareness of the I am that I am do I have? And how much awareness of the I am that I am do I carry with me consciously in my daily activity? And as Myra was just saying a moment ago, you can't just take action. Like if you're upset and then take action, that upsetness, that action will reflect the upsetness, not your total consciousness, not the I am that I am. So what I often say is, don't get out of bed until you can greet the day, right? Until you can remember who you are, that you belong to the one, that the life force within me is thrilled to be thrilling as me, that life force within me knows how to govern my mind, my body, and my experience. And I am left free to discover who and what I am. So I can participate at the level of physical reality, and therefore take what everybody else is broadcasting, and that's called the race mind. I could take the race mind's broadcasting and be slammed around by the slings and arrows of what Shakespeare called the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, right? Or I can know that I am one with the one. I can attune myself with my own I am consciousness, and I can decide what it is that I want to broadcast. I choose to comfortably live my life and fulfill my purpose. I choose to be a beneficial presence in the world. I choose to create a vibration that is in tune with the pattern of the Christ, the Atman, the Buddha, the high self of my own nature, that perfect I am, the forever, the only begotten, begetting itself in me now, the realization of that Christ consciousness, that Buddha awareness, that at one-ment with the universe, and carry that with me in my day, because I set the tone consciously, right? I know who I am, and I'm inviting my I am consciousness to guide, guard, direct, protect, and lead me into the paths of divine right action. Meister Eckhart, the mystic from the 13th century, the 1200s, Meister Eckhart said, the soul has two faces, Now, the soul, another word for the soul, is the I am that I am. I am an immortal spiritual being, superior to my mind, to my body, and to my experience. And what I am in truth then is this immortal one that came from the light. I put on a coat of skins, I became incarnate, and I will return to the light. But the I am that I am, I believe in the immortality and the continuity of the individual soul. I am that I am that came from the light. I am expressing now as Harry Morgan Moses in this lifetime, using the law of the circle or the law of mind to do the co-creation of my life. I of myself, Jesus, the master teacher, said, I of myself am nothing. It is the Father within me that does the work. I of myself have no real power, but I, as a vibrational being, rising up into higher and higher vibrations through my conscious choice, through my conscious alignment, what Myra just called going into the vortex, knowing that I am one with the one. We have often called that a new thought, upstairs thinking. I am thinking and creating and living from the place within. No, Casper, not right now. This is not your show. I'm thinking and living and creating from the place within me that is at one with the one. I am thinking and living and creating, knowing that there are no limit to my good. I am thinking, living, and creating and expanding, not because I'm paying attention to what's being broadcast on the web or what's being broadcast on television or on the newspapers or in the evening news or from the White House or from the governor's office or from wherever. I am an immortal spiritual being. I am in tune with the infinite. The I am that I am is seeking that I should have life and have it more abundantly, right? And so there is no limit to the good that is mine. If I'm born in the image and likeness of the one and set free to grow and expand forever, how could there possibly be a limit to good? How could there be a limit to how much good is available to me? Now, there is a limit because you are doing it either consciously or unconsciously. We are in tuning ourselves to the ever expanding good, or we're in tuning ourselves to fear and doubt and worry, right? And the human mind, what the Buddhist calls the monkey mind, has 60,000 thoughts a day. Most of those thoughts are repetitive, right? And they say 98% of those thoughts are repetitive. So that means if you look at the other side of that, there's a 2% chance of my having a new thought today. Now, if I don't purpose myself to live at that higher dimension, how can I grow and expand and create and vibrate out a greater good than I've ever vibrated before? The answer is I do that by my conscious awareness. Mary Baker Eddy, the founder of Christian Sciences, says, stand porter at the door of thought, meaning I become conscious of what I'm thinking. I become conscious of what's going through my mentality. I become conscious that I choose to live in the qualities of the divine, oneness and liberty and justice and freedom and equality and prosperity. You can choose those things. They are ever present. They exist. How do I expand my awareness to the place where I'm vibrating to attract good and more good? There's a great affirmation from Dr. Holmes, Ernest Holmes, the author of the book, The Science of Mind, and the great philosopher from the last century, right? He said, good and more good is mine. There's no limit to the good that is mine. Everywhere I go, I see this good. I feel it. It crowds itself against me. So I open my consciousness and multiplies itself around me. It crowds itself against me and multiplies itself around me. So I become a beneficial presence where good and more good is coming from me. So people say, well, how do I vibrate higher? Well, again, we go back to the beginning. As Myra said in her beautiful little talk, we have to get in tune. We have to get in alignment. And we do that by daily doing our meditations, quieting the mind, so that we're not listening to the rattling of those repetitive thoughts. We quiet the mind and focus on the I am that I am, the I am that is love and truth and beauty and wisdom and patience and grace and wholeness, the pattern of wholeness that my body is made in the image and likeness of wholeness. No one knows how to make a liver live or a kidney kid or a heartbeat beat. That's being done unto us, right? So we have to attune ourselves to this great gift of life that is in the very holy breath that I take right now. Relaxing and breathing and opening to the higher ideas, to that which is life-giving, to that which is life-informing, to that which is my personal choice of what are the qualities, what are called the eternal verities. What are the qualities of that which is love has always been love throughout time. That which is joy has always been joy. That which is laughter has always been laughter. In every culture, in every place, it comes from a different point of view because every vibrational frequency is different. And we will attract like ourselves. That's why that great expression, birds of a feather flock together. So here in this very room, we're in a cyber room all together, yes? In this very room, we are vibrating close enough to hear each other, to understand each other, to be participating in like-minded ideas together, to be gazing at the glory of the Most High. The Meister Eckhart says, my soul is gazing at the glory of God, while the other aspect of my being is seeking to direct the senses. And then my listening. Most people don't realize that that which is their own I am presence is guiding, directing, and offering answers and solutions all the time. There is a lamp unto my feet, yeah? In other words, if I can't see how to get to the biggest idea of my life, I can see and listen to how to take a step in that direction today, how to take one step in the direction of my dreams, goals, and desires, how to be guided to take that next step, how to be guided to open to the bigger ideas of how I can comfortably live my life and fulfill my purpose. But again, none of this is going to happen if we don't stop, calm the mind, and attune ourselves with the infinite, and then say to ourselves, what is it do I really mean? So here it is on this Sunday morning in June. The world of color is all around us. The world of inclusion is possible for everyone. And is there room in your house for all? So here's the poem from Dr. Holmes. It's in the second page of the book, The Science of Mind. This particular copy is some 50 years old when I first began to study it. Peace be unto thee, stranger. Enter and be not afraid. I have left the gate open, and thou art welcome to my home. There is room in my house for all. I have swept the hearth and lighted the fire. The room is warm and cheerful, and you will find comfort and rest within. The table is laid, and the fruits of life are spread before thee. The wine is here also. It sparkles in the light. I have set a chair for you where the sunbeams dance through the shade. Sit and rest and refresh your soul. Eat of the fruit and drink the wine. All is yours, and you are welcome. So that poem is spirit speaking to everyone. Spirit speaking to everyone. There is room in my house for all. Now, if you are born in the image and likeness of the One, then there needs to be room in your house for all. We're not talking about the physical house. We're talking about the house of your consciousness, right? There's room in my house for all. Every color belongs. Every nation belongs. Every culture belongs. Every way of being belongs. But if I don't make room in my house, the signal from me is not an inclusive signal. The signal for me might be fear and doubt. The signal for me might be worry and disease and disruption. The signal for me might even be violence. And violence begets violence. and peace begets peace, and love begets love, and joy begets joy. So if we don't separate ourselves from what's being broadcast right now in this time in our lives, in this June, in this holy time, in this holy day, right? There is broadcasting all kinds of people, of the billions of souls on the planet. People are vibrating all over the place. Where are you vibrating? And what is the signal coming out from you, going into the law of the mind, to the law of the infinite creative mind, which receives the direct impress of our thought and acts upon it? Are we creating out of our individuality, out of our personal choice? I choose to comfortably live my life and fulfill my purpose. I choose to live in oneness and liberty and justice and inclusion and freedom and victory and equality and prosperity and in tune with a higher order of being, so that as I am expanding up, my vibration is getting wider. As my vibration gets wider, just like you're climbing a mountain, your vista gets better. What you can see changes. Your understanding of what you're looking at changes. Your understanding of the law of the circle, the law of cause and effect, the law of energy coming from me returns to me. And I begin to find the simple ways, like the Dalai Lama. He says his religion is, he's a Tibetan Buddhist, a well-informed, well-educated Tibetan Buddhist. He knows everything about Buddhism. But when you ask him what's his religion, he says, my religion is kindness. What is my religion? I'm a new thought person. And I choose to be in tune with the qualities of the divine that I want to mimic and I want to multiply. I want to heal and uplift and inspire and bring forth more life. What do you want? What are you bringing forth? What's the vibration coming from you? Are you willing to invite the universe to supply you with your good? Are you willing to affirm that there's no limit to that good? Are you willing to change your mind and quiet the chattering of the monkey mind, which is reminding you that you're limited and that you have no power? No. You are not limited. You're unlimited. And you're connected to the all power. But it will take some discipline. It will take some spiritual practice. Daily, we must meditate. Daily, we must affirm through our spiritual mind treatments, through our affirmative prayer, who and what I am in the world and what I want to be and what I want to attract and how I want to live. Right? So you are somebody already magnificent. We, in this very room, there's quite enough love for all of the world. In this very room, the saints, the sage, the mystics, the prophets, those who are vibrating in tune with the infinite, just like you and I are vibrating in tune with the limit, they're all here in this very room because your vibration is big enough and high enough that you've invited your high self, the I am presence. I am is the secret nature and the emblem of eternity, Dr. Holmes said. What I am is whole, complete, and perfect. What I am is an immortal spiritual being. What I am is an instrument of the divine in the world, and I choose to be conscious of it and to share it through kindness in the world today. So this is our time to recognize I am making room in me, in this very room. There's quite enough room for all the world. In this very room, there's quite enough love for all the world. And in this very room, I can extend the love from me to my beloved, to my family, to my friends, to my children, to my grandchildren, and to the world, because I choose to comfortably live my life and fulfill my purpose. It's been my honor and privilege to be with you in this day. And what I know is until we meet again, I invite you to go in the light, as the light, and with the light. May the longtime sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide you on your way. And you're the place making room for greater love, greater kindness, greater joy, greater acceptance, greater good. No limit to that good, because you're making the choice to consciously live your life and fulfill your purpose. Consciousness creates experience. You have a marvelous consciousness, and I'm happy to be sharing it with you today. Thanks for listening. And I'll ring the gong. That's it, Vance. You're back.
All right. Thank you, Reverend Dr. Harry. What an awesome, awesome talk. Both Maya and Reverend Dr. Harry on that consciousness raising. So now I'm going to read our New Minister Sacred Covenant Easy Prayer. And you can read it with me. And there is only one life. This life is good. This life is God. This life is my life now. And knowing that I am one with this life that is God, I therefore know that I am one with all of its blessed expressions, which includes the presence of a new minister for my beloved spiritual community. Because I know the highest purpose of my new minister is to express spirit, I therefore know that my new minister is a revelation of spirit as principle. I further know that my new minister is the fulfillment of that which has been promised by God, for it is written, principle is not bound by precedent. It operates according to law, and it is always available to those who are willing to align themselves with it. As I stand in agreement with my beloved community, I see my new minister before me as inspiring spiritual oneness through wisdom, love, and authenticity. I now intend to experience my new minister in full cooperation and agreement with my community, knowing this truth about myself. For I am inspired to live as love in the expression of principle. I am awakening the principle, the wisdom within me by clearly communicating the principles of universal truth. I am a conduit of divine love, wisdom, and healing energy, recognizing the inherent nature, wholeness within all beings. I am offering teachings, classes, and mystical studies grounded in spiritual principles to cultivate inner wisdom, personal transformation, and empowered living. I am extending the love, compassion, and transformative power of spirit into the wider community, fostering connections that heal, uplift, and support individuals in their unique journeys. As I now accept the highest expression of a new minister into my life, I know that they will be revealed in a way that will express spirit and serve the highest and greatest good of all who are touched by their presence. I am grateful. God is gracious, and so it is. Now, with that, in alignment with that, it's our time for spiritual giving. And we appreciate each and every one of you who gives on an ongoing basis and who contributes when you're here. And we, in order to have that new minister, need additional flow into our pipeline, I guess, of saying, and to support that which we're attracting in this new minister. So if you would say the affirmation of prosperity with me. I live in a universe of abundance. As I freely and joyfully give, I join in the divine flow, and all that I share with life returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is. And you can donate at cslmidtown.org/donate and set up a one-time contribution or an ongoing contribution, or scan the QR code. It'll take you right there. I've got a few announcements. You can join us after this and join Reverend Dr. Harry on Zoom. You can get there by scrolling down to the Zoom link. Click that, and it will take you right in with the little code to access that. Next month, we have Reverend Dr. Jerry Troyer, who is going to talk about Free at Last, Releasing Ourselves from Bondage. It should be an interesting talk. And Sundays, every Sunday, before the service at 10 a.m., we have a discussion group going on, and they are reading through that very thick Science of Mind textbook. You don't have to have read the textbook section they're at before you join. Just join the discussion. So come join us for that. You can download the New Minister Sacred Covenant Easy Prayer from the website, cslmidtown.org. Just scroll down a little bit. There's a download link for you to do that and fill in a couple of things of your own that you want to add to that. With that, let's say our affirmation of life. I leave this place now knowing something better than I knew before. I go forth into the world with a heart full of love and a mind full of good sense. I look at the world in a greater way, knowing that I have within me everything I need to create the life I desire. I give thanks for this understanding, and I am grateful for the spirit of life that lives through me. And so it is. Have a great week, everyone, and we'll see you on Zoom.
I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for all that I have. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for all that I have. Hey! Oh yeah. Grateful. I just say I am so grateful every day for all I have. Every day. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for all I have. Every day I say it. Grateful. How I'm grateful. Every day. Oh yeah. I am so grateful. Oh yeah. I'm so grateful. 'Cause I accept and I receive. I am so grateful. Oh yes, I am. I am. I am. So grateful, yeah, grateful. I just count my blessings, grateful. I just count my blessings.
There is a power for good in the universe greater than you are.